If you can't tell, I'm enjoying this. Okay, let's see what Harry Hook's pirate ship picked for the captain to talk about today. Keep doing the fishbowl thing. I'm gonna need y'all to get another box, okay? We can't be putting two in one, okay? It just confuses me. Y'all gonna have to get another fishbowl. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. Which one do we want to pick out first now? Oh, thank God, we're talking about fun stuff today. Today's video will be a bit more fun. You will be creating an in-depth analysis on the mid-2000s cinematic masterpiece, Sky High. You will talk about why something so strange works so well, the world it takes place in, and pretty privilege within the villains, and also discuss the characters. By the way, you need to discuss the diversity, because this film has a misogynoir problem. Alexa, play the My Scene theme song.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, my scene. You know what I mean. It's my scene, you know what.
Put a finger down, white boy edition. If you've done anything with any of these names, put a finger down. Andrew, Austin, Ben, Blake, Bryce, Caden.
Hey guys, Harriyanna, and I'm back with another video. Hello, welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain. You are not the first mate. Always remember that I am the captain and I have no first mate. How many times I gotta go over this? I got a second, I got a third, I got a fourth, I got a fifth, even got a 12th, but no one is worthy of being first. One day somebody will be first, but today is not that day. Hello, if this is your first time ever seeing me, my name is Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. You can call me Harriyanna or Harry for short. Either or is fine. Now before we get into today's video, because this did not go the way I thought it was, because it's so strange how this is a film I've seen so many freaking times in my life, and I did not pick up on this until I rewatched it recently, and I was like, yo, I'm sorry I left it out of the fishbowl intro, but we're gonna get into that. Before we get started, I just have a few little announcements I need to make. Shop is open, harriyannahook.com. My merch, please go purchase it. I have a mix of, a lot of good things. We got vegan lip glosses, vegan nail polishes, cute headbands, cute earrings, all that jazz. Please go support harriyannahook.com. I got more great stuff coming in the future. Right now, this is just our spring collection. We got a lot of good fun stuff coming for the summer collection, so please make sure you go to harriyannahook.com. make sure you subscribe to our mailing list, and that is that. I have a Patreon. Seriously, you guys have been doing, thank you guys so much for supporting my Patreon. I really appreciate that so much. I offer so much over there. Thank you guys so freaking much. Thank you guys so much. And last but not least, go support The Progenies, please. The Progenies is a Descendants web series that I am in the process of making. And y'all, I'm tired, but it is a great, long, fun process. Making a TV show is not easy. I have the link to our pilot down below so you guys can see what to expect. And also our Instagram page is down below also. So yeah, and I also have a buy me a coffee link too. If you guys just kind of want to give me a little check, you don't want to not check tip, if you don't want to subscribe to the Patreon, which I completely under freaking stand. So today we are going to get into a deep dive analysis into Sky High and why the movie works so well and why the movie is so great, but also why it's disturbing. Y'all know y'all came to the pirate ship. Y'all know y'all were gonna get something like this, okay? Y'all gotta know what to expect when you come to my freaking channel. So like I said, on to today's video. As you guys know, requests are only open to my patrons. So yeah, if you want to make requests, subscribe to the Patreon. So I popped up in the Discord and I asked them, what kind of stuff would you guys like for me to see? Just know I'm only going to talk about stuff that I like and stuff that I'm actually into and stuff like that. So they were like, Sky High. And I was like, okay, let's go. Let's go. So I was like, okay, I know my Patreon's on Sky High. How does my bigger audience feel about Sky High? So I asked my audience, do y'all want, does Harry Hook's pirate ship want a Sky High video? And so here is the long-awaited, more like 3 weeks analysis of Sky High, the Disney Channel film. Not Disney Channel film. Okay, it is a Disney Channel film with a bigger budget. It's just a Disney film. But we're going to talk about the Disney film that is extremely corny, but it works so well. So earlier I had asked my dad, because I remember I saw Sky High the day, like not the exact day it came out, but that next day after it came out. So my dad took me, my sister to the movies with him. I'm pretty sure my mom came with us too. And we saw Sky High and we all really enjoyed it. I recently asked my dad if he remembers Sky High and he said he remembered. It was a great movie. So my daddy better than y'all's, okay? My dad has taste, okay? My dad is cool. He likes Sky High. Does your father like Sky High? Didn't think so. No, for real though. If your parents like Sky High and they seen this film, comment down below. I'm genuinely curious to know how many adults liked this movie at the time it came out. Because I feel like so many kids only like the movie, like adults my age like it for nostalgic purposes. But then I rewatched it as an adult and it was still pretty solid. And knowing that my dad liked the movie when he was in his 40s, okay, here we go. Like I said, didn't think so. So what exactly is Sky High about? It's basically a movie about a high school for superheroes. Literally every single kid at the school is the child of a superhero or like a famous superhero. Some are better known than others, some are lesser known than others, but everybody at that school has some type of nepotism to them. Everybody knows whose mama's whose. It's like that. It's that kind of school. Like basically if your daddy in jail for villainy, yeah, that everyone knows. Everyone freaking knows. You got no shame here in Sky High. You have no privacy here in Sky High. So basically the movie focuses on this boy named Will. And Will is the child of two of the most famous superheroes in America. It's obvious that this movie takes place in America, okay? It's American. It's very American, okay? And because of how powerful and famous his parents are, everyone has these really high expectations for Will. So that's one thing that's like a lot of like his character development in the movie. A lot of it is just him adjusting to having all of this pressure on him to be just as great as his parents. Now, moving on, like I said, as Will's parents are like two of the most best powerful superheroes there are, the gag is Will's superpowers have not kicked in yet, so he's just kind of hiding it. All his life, he's just kind of been hiding the fact that his superpowers weren't there. And I was like, listen, dude, how are you able to hide this for so long? How? Please let me know how. Just let me know. I really am genuinely confused about that part. But anyway, he was able to hide him not having superpowers for the longest. And his parents were not happy about that. But then a good 40 minutes into the movie, no, exactly 40 minutes into the movie, he gets his powers in the middle of a fight at lunchtime. Trust me, it works. It sounds really weird, but it works. Okay, moving on. Like I said, the kids at Sky High either are labeled either as a hero or a sidekick based on their powers, okay? Which is very stupid. Like if they have a goofy type superhero, like superpower, they're labeled as a sidekick. But if they have something that is seemed as cool, they're labeled as a hero. It's kind of like the Wonder Twins situation where one of the Wonder Twins was cool and the other one was not. It's kind of like that situation. You know who the Wonder Twins are? Please comment down below. Please comment down below. Like I said, the main focus of Sky High is on the sidekick students, because seriously, if this movie just focused on the hero kids, it would have been whack as hell, okay? The movie mainly focuses on the sidekick students, particularly the sidekick freshman students, with a few heroes put in there. So yeah, that's just basically it, and that's why it's so great. Because before we get into like the disturbing stuff, I really just kind of want to talk about why this movie is so good. Think Mean Girls, but in a superhero universe. That's Sky High. It's like Mean Girls, She's the Man, ATL. What's another one of them early 2000 teen movies that everybody freaking watched? Confessions of the Teenage Drama Queen. It's literally like those films, but literally throw it in a superhero setting. And that's the film. That is exactly what this movie is, okay? It's like every late to mid 2000s teen movie. And that's literally what it is. It's a mid 2000s teen movie. That's literally what Sky High is. A teen movie set up in a superhero world. Sky High most likely would not work today. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The reason it works so well is because it's a product of its time. During this time period, these kind of movies were extremely popular. A lot of these movies are what were making companies money. They knew that if they did teen movies that focused on just adolescence and coming of age, they were going to make big bang, because Disney was also releasing a lot more coming of age films too around this time. Like, this is like when Freaky Friday came out and Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen came out, and that's when all like those Disney Channel original movies was like airing new episodes. Not new episodes, they was airing new Disney Channel original movies like every so often. This was during that time period. So this was like peak, like I say peak when it comes to like, you know, like the Brat Pack, but for like the 2000s, late 90s, this was that era. And Disney knew good and well they could make a lot of money on it, but they already had a somewhat normal one because they had Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday, it's normal to a certain extent, but it's really not. And then you had Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, which is the most normal it gets. So they were like, what can we bring to the table that will make people want to watch our teen movie and make it stand out? So they were like, you know what? Let's throw up things that are like popular. They took teen kids. They took teen movies. Disney took teen movies. And then superhero movies were also becoming popular around this time too. Like, this is when I remember Fantastic Four came out around this time period. This is when like the first Spider-Man movie was out, the Hulk movie okay. This is when superhero movies were slowly starting to become taken a little bit more seriously. They grabbed that. They were like, superhero, let's put them together. And what do you know? Sky High was born. Sky High was born. It's a product of its time. That 2000s Y2K aesthetic literally is what makes this film so great, okay? Like I said, this movie also gives me bad high school memories because when the popular kids was picking on me, it reminded me of when they were picking on me. Like, no, I didn't get my head shoved into the toilet, but I did get my belongings thrown in the bathroom trash can though. So yeah, like I said, I didn't have a happy teenhood. I didn't have a happy preteenhood either. I didn't have a happy childhood. I got picked on. Like, I mean it when I said I did not have a happy childhood. But anyway, what makes this movie so great is that they took the typical teen movie tropes and they had fun with them. They just had as much fun with them as they could. Like, you had the popular girl and her annoying best friend. Literally every single movie has one of those. You know, the popular girl and her annoying little friend that just be yapping on, instigating every little thing. I couldn't stand that girl in real life. If anything, I disliked her more than I liked the popular girl. The emo loner boy, the kind of dull protagonist that you just kind of have because they make everyone else look better. The goth girl, the token black kid, the jocks, the bullies, the girl next door, all your cute typical teen movie things that include parties and gym class, fighting at lunchtime, not getting along with your parents, and riding the bus. Literally all of the stuff that you can find within a teen movie, Sky High does that, and they somehow make it superhero. They make it a superhero version of that. I found that extremely cool. Like, one particular thing that I find interesting was the school bus. As you know, Sky High is a school that takes place in the sky, like literally in the clouds. They get on a school bus every morning and it's a rocket that goes up to the school. So freaking cool. That just amazes me. Extremely creative. It's like the Magic School Bus a little bit. Did y'all copy this from the Magic School Bus, Disney? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. But like I said, literally everything that I just said, the team behind the movie found a way to incorporate superhero things into them. Especially this school fight scene that we just need to talk about. This is the most unrealistic school fight that I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that because it takes place in a superhero setting where they're throwing fire and tables and chairs at each other and things like that. No, when I was in high school, somebody did throw a chair at somebody in a fight. But seriously, the most unrealistic thing about it is that there were like no teachers in there when the kids was fighting. Like literally were y'all teachers not on lunch duty? Like, literally, they would have administrators on lunch duty monitoring the kids. At Sky High, there was no one in there. And that's one thing I also find irritating when I watch school, like, stuff with school all the time. When you watch it, there's literally no administrators in the cafeteria. I'm like, that's not realistic. Do y'all not know how real school works? It probably worked like that back in the day. But nowadays, it don't work. And the only way that they only put a stop to the fight was when Warren got thrown through the wall. And I was just like, so does this happen regularly at Sky High? Because it's bound that the kids in the cafeteria are gonna fight with each other at some point, because a lot of these kids have beef with each other because their parents have beef with each other. It's like a Romeo and Juliet type situation. So does that happen all the time? I wonder how messed up that school is and how often it has to get repaired because the students don't know how to control their powers, or they use their powers for bad and whatever. I find that really, really interesting. There was not an adult in sight until the fight got too out of hand. What do you know? But I find that very, very cool though. Overall, it's cool, okay? It's cool. You have to see it. I know y'all are gonna hop on my neck if I don't talk about certain characters, okay? I don't want to go through each individual character in this movie because I'm not gonna lie. Not every character in this movie is worth talking about. A lot of the characters were very, very dull and forgettable. Like I said, the little token black kid. I'm sorry, I don't even really remember his name, and I've seen this movie 1,000 times. He's just not memorable. I'm sorry. It's terrible. Like I said, this movie, the diversity kind of trash, but we're going to get to that later. We're going to get back to that later. Like I said, we got to talk about Warren Peace. Warren Peace basically is the Prince Zuko of Sky High. He literally is the Prince Zuko of Sky High, the the slightly dangerous sad boy that's just a loner and just kind of gets better for himself throughout the film. Kind of has like the best character development in a sense. I really don't like what they did with his character in the end. It's kind of like they didn't know what to do with him, and they put him with the ice girl that didn't even speak in the movie, who just had a small cameo in the beginning where she froze somebody and then they got together at the end at Homecoming. I don't know. I thought that was just very, very sloppy. I really would have liked if Warren had a little bit more to do with Layla, because I thought him and Layla really worked well together. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I kind of would have liked to see Layla not end up with Will and kind of grew a little bit more with Warren, because they did have good chemistry together. They did work well together. It's kind of like a Avatar The Last Airbender type situation. Why do I keep comparing Sky High to Avatar The Last Airbender? Well, they did both come out the same year, and I did both watch their premieres. That did not come out right. I did watch both of their premieres too. Yes, I watched the premiere of Avatar The Last Airbender. Don't try me. I'm better than all of you. I'm just playing. But like I said, it just kind of... You know how Avatar The Last Airbender, Katara worked so well with Zuko, but you can tell from the beginning it was always going to be her and Aang. That's how it was for me with Layla in Sky High. She worked well with Warren, but we knew it was set up from the beginning that she was going to end up with Will. But anyway, like I said, it's just kind of, I was getting Katang vibes from Will and Layla. I'm sorry, I just was. Like I said, it's obvious that Layla was just gonna go with Will in the beginning. But anyway, a girl can dream. Layla and Warren fanfiction? I don't know. But like I said, now we're going to talk about my favorite character, Magenta. I'm gonna be real. We didn't see enough of her. We did not see enough of her. I freaking adore Magenta, okay? She's just funny. She's hilarious. She has the best outfits, amazing fashion sense. Sis did not care about anything. She didn't care about nothing. She wasn't scared of nobody. She had a smart mouth, and I just loved everything about her. Magenta was amazing. Was she the best character? No. But was she my favorite character? Yes, and I'm gonna sit here and ride for her as much as I want. She's amazing. She's so freaking amazing. But I just wish we saw a little bit more of her. This movie didn't have enough Magenta for me. I would love to see a spin-off movie just about Magenta, or even a comic book just about Magenta's color because I find her extremely interesting. She was a guinea pig. I really want to know what her parents were for where her superpowers were, where she turns into a guinea pig. Anyway, let's go into where it starts to get disturbing. Where it starts to get disturbing with this movie. We gotta talk about the villain. Y'all, it's so obvious who the villain is. It is. Like, as a kid, I didn't pick up on it because I was slow. But now that I'm grown, and it's so obvious. It's so freaking obvious who the villain is, okay? I remember someone on Tumblr, not Tumblr, but on Twitter, somebody was like, it would have been interesting if they made Warren the villain. And I was like, that would have been an interesting thing, too. Like I said, he just did like a 180 on them and whatever. But I did like how, when Warren's storyline, he basically was the embodiment of I'm not my parents. Like, basically, you know, the people whose parents be evil, and then their kids are just sweet as pie. That's kind of what we were getting from Warren, even though he wasn't super duper sweet as pie. Like I said, he was a Prince Zuko. Zuko's dad was terrible, but Zuko was not. But he did have an attitude problem. Anyway, like I said, it's so obvious who the villain is. It's Gwen. It's obvious that it's Gwen. It's obvious that it's Gwen. Yes, I know she played Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I know the whole entire comment section is just gonna be like, that's Ramona Flowers. Ramona Flowers. Yes, I know that's Ramona Flowers. And now that I'm talking about her, we need to talk about the other movie's villain. I know Penny is the twins from ATL. And the twins that follow Khloe Kardashian everywhere. I know, y'all. I know, okay? I know. And also, before any of you guys ask, yes, I've seen Scott Pilgrim Saves the World. And yes, I think it's an amazing movie. And I have a surprise coming for you guys soon. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Main reason why everybody knew that the villain was Ramona Flowers. We cannot keep calling this girl Ramona Flowers. Gwen, Mary Elizabeth Winston, is amazing, by the way. She's a Sagittarius like me, so that's no wonder why I'm such a big fan of her acting. Such a big fan of her work. Super duper talented woman. But like I said, we're just talking about her, not Gwen. What senior girl, like literally, what senior girl is into a freshman dude? It's so obvious who the villain is, just simply based off of that. Like, just simply based off of that. Because, you know, the people that be seniors going after little freshmen, it's always something wrong with them. That's exactly how I knew it was something wrong with her. Like, if you paid close enough attention to her, you could tell something was not right about her. Especially that one scene where she was over at Will's house and they were going through the yearbook and they came across her mom, which was really her. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Yeah, when it just came across that part, you can tell she was just a little kind of uneasy. You can tell right there. I was like, that's her. That she has some relation to that woman. Turns out she was that woman. It wasn't really that much of a shocking reveal though. Like when we figured out who the villain was. Like I said, I've rewatched this movie so many freaking times. It just kind of happens a little too quickly. In a sense, it just kind of happened a little bit too fast. But like I said, anyway, the pacing in this movie really kind of bothered me sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. It's amazing, but like sometimes I feel like things could have been a little bit slower. Like, I remember I was watching this one video on YouTube where she was talking about Reckless Ladybug just needs to sit. That's just how I felt about Sky High. Sometimes this movie just really needs to sit. And also when it comes to Gwen's character, pretty privilege comes into play. Like, yes, pretty privilege is something that is a factor within this movie. I have spoken about pretty privilege in the past, how so many villains in films, their pretty privilege is part of the reason why they get away with all that they do. As Gwen was very, very pretty, but she also was not a good person. She was very, very sly and sneaky, and a part of her looks played a lot into her getting away with a lot of the things that she did. Because like I said, it's already weird how this older girl is trying to talk to a senior boy, and he just thought she was super duper pretty and he just went along with everything she did because she was doing very suspicious stuff in this movie. Like, it's just so obvious that this girl was up to no good. But he really couldn't see it because he was really blinded by her beauty. Like, he even called her perfect at one point, and I was just like, sis is not perfect. She has done some things and you're just blind to see them because she's pretty. So that's kind of like where the little pretty privilege villain thing comes into play. I did have to speak on it a little bit because a lot of people don't really seem to understand what pretty privilege is. They think it's I'm cute and my guys buy me drinks for free, but I'm like, no. Pretty privilege has to do with being able to get away with things because of your looks. That's the main thing I wish people would understand a little bit about pretty privilege, and I feel like using the example from Sky High is a great way to explain that. She got away with a lot of the things she did, basically, you know, with Will, because she was very, very beautiful, and he did stand up to her towards the end because he realized she wasn't shit. But you know, it took him 75% through the movie to figure it out. So, he figured it out eventually, but he wasn't all the way there. He was not all the way there. Now, this is basically where we got to get into the very, very disturbing stuff with this movie. This movie has a problem with sexual assault. It does. It does. It really, really does. Like I mentioned, it's already kind of weird how you had this senior girl preying on a 14-year-old boy. It turns out she's like 40. It turns out, like I said, the woman that was in that picture when he was looking through his parents' yearbook, she was that woman. I found that very disturbing. So based on the way his parents look, they look about 40. She's actually 40 years old. And it was really, really creepy. She was just kind of leading him on, getting him to do the things that she wanted him to do. She even kissed him too. It's very, very disturbing when you actually sit there and think about it, because actually when it gets to a certain point in the movie, when Will figured out how old she actually was, he stood there for a moment and he was like, I made out with the old woman. Like, he was actually very disturbed by that, and he knew it wasn't right, but he didn't really have much time to, sit there and kind of ponder about it, because she literally was about to kill everybody in the freaking school. Like, as a kid, I didn't catch it. I barely even remember her. Like, that's like something that really just kind of flew over my head when I was younger, that she was actually really, really old. Because my stupid self was still over here thinking she was Royal Pain's daughter. Instead, she was actually Royal Pain's wife. She actually was Royal Pain. What am I freaking talking about? Anyway, like I said, it's very, very disturbing. And like I said, there also is another issue, like a really small scene that has to do with it, where the coach at the school, who's a very, very annoying character, I really just did not like him. He touches one of the students inappropriately, and that is not okay. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch the kids. Like, it's really, really gross, because in that scene, they were able to get away with it because the student shapeshift into him. So basically, it was like a photo double. It was an adult. And then he touched him inappropriately, thinking that he was touching himself inappropriately. But it was so obvious that the kid was like, okay, that's weird. But like I said, this movie just kind of played it off for laughs. Sexual assault's not funny. How many times we gotta go over this? Don't touch people. Keep your hands to yourself. Leave the kids alone. Keep your hands to yourself. That's just all I gotta talk about with that. And we gotta talk about the diversity, because the diversity kind of sucked with this movie. It kind of do. Like, we did, like, when it was good representation, it was good representation. Magenta was amazing, like I said. Magenta was amazing. But when it was bad, whoo, it was bad. Like I said, we already had the token black kid. And then we have Penny. We have to talk about Penny. This movie kind of has a misogynoir problem, because when you have Penny, first of all, she's already like the token black friend. She is Gwen's little token black friend. She's just kind of like her sidekick. She back her up and do whatever she do. She is portrayed the typical way black girls in mostly white movies are portrayed. Like the loud, sassy, mean, loudmouth girl. That's literally what Penny was. She wasn't nice at all whatsoever. And it's kind of sad how the only black girl with a speaking role in this movie, because this movie has a lot of black girls in it, okay? I pay close attention to like everything in movies and stuff like that, because, this is like what I study. I pay very close attention to everybody in the background, and there were a lot of black extras. There were a lot of extras of color, and I really do praise Sky High for that, because a lot of movies don't seem to care about the background. They will throw a whole bunch of white kids in the background and not think anything of it. I like how Sky High, they actually did take the time to do that with adding that diversity, but the only black girl that speaks in this movie is portrayed very poorly. And like I said, it really frustrated me in the end how they tried to redeem her for like 10 seconds. They were trying to redeem her in like 1 minute when Layla literally trapped her. And she was like, Gwen gonna blow up the school. She gonna make the school fall out of the sky. I was like, no, why are y'all trying to redeem her so freaking late in the movie? I don't like how they did that. Like, she literally cried wolf. Why couldn't the white boys cry wolf? Anyway, I'm just kind of digging a little too deep into it. Ignore that last thing that I said, but it just really was off-putting how they try to redeem her so late into the movie. And then she still got in trouble. I was like, what was the point of her snitching on Gwen for her still to get in trouble like that? Like, yeah, she was extremely wrong for what she did, but like, why didn't she get some time off? She got the equal treatment compared to everybody else. Like I said, it's just really frustrating. This movie does have a bit of misogynoir in it, but a lot of 2000s teen movies have problems with misogynoir. Let's just be real. That's just the truth. As I mentioned, how Sky High is a product of its time. It really is a product of its time because, like I said, this movie's not perfect. It has a lot of issues when it comes to that stuff like that. But aside from the issues, it's still a really great movie. It's a fun movie, okay? It's a very, very fun movie. It's a quirky film that has heart to it, okay? Like I said, it's corny, it's over the top, it's exaggerated, but it still has heart for it, okay? Even though these kids are put in unrealistic situations. Like, nobody has superpowers. Let's just go ahead and establish that we do have superpowers. That's another topic for another discussion, because I know a lot of people are very spiritual that follow me and things like that, and I am spiritual to a certain extent too, but people don't have superpowers. They made people struggling with their superpowers relatable. I find that so extremely interesting. This movie does have very good writing. Like I said, it has issues here and then, but when the writing is good, it is great. Do I recommend watching Sky High? Yes, I do recommend watching Sky High. You just want a fun movie that's not too serious. You don't want something that's gonna make you cry or make you sad and things like that. Throw on Sky High. It's a pretty fun movie, enjoyable for people of all ages. The sexual assault stuff's kind of off-putting, but like, it's still a good movie. Like I said, even though it is disturbing, it's still a pretty good movie, okay? Like I said, we do need to talk about that factor in this film because that is just something I see people just kind of gloss over. But it's still great. I highly recommend watching this movie. It's on Disney Plus. I know a lot of you guys have Disney Plus since this panoramic started, the personal pan pizza that we're still in a year later. It's on Disney Plus. Go watch it if you can. Sometimes Disney Channel still likes to play reruns and things like that. Catch it if you can. Highly recommend watching Sky High. Super duper fun film. Just something really cute, laid back. It's a cute little Friday night film that you can just get pizza and wings with. That's Sky High. Such a great movie. I love it so freaking much. It's one of my favorites, even though, like I said, I'm allowed to like things. I can like things when I acknowledge that they have bad stuff in them. But anyway, that concludes the end of this video. Thank you guys so freaking much. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button down below because I know YouTube been unsubscribing me. Please go follow me on all my socials, all at Harriyanna. harriyannahook.com is my merch shop. Hopefully you find something over there that you like. I have a buy me a coffee, like giving me a tip, have Patreon if you just want to see more of me and more exclusive videos and stuff like that that don't what am I trying to say? You ain't gonna see them on this channel. That's what I'm trying to say. But thank you guys so freaking much. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the Powerpuff Girls reboot stuff. All of the Powerpuff Girl reboot stuff is going on my Patreon, okay? Like, that's literally, like, all where it is. So that's an exclusive series that I'm just running over there on Patreon. If you want to see my Powerpuff Girls live action show updates, please make sure to go over there. Like I said, I love you guys so freaking much. Thank you guys for watching, and yes, have a good day.
Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From towns from Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all.